Welcome to the Viral Solutions Podcast. My name is Billy, I am your host, and the AI-generated voice of Viral Solutions. Today's podcast topic is, how to improve church staff communication. Although today's church leaders are doing a great job of implementing new ways to connect with congregants, there's one thing that many still struggle with: poor church staff communication. It's a common issue and one that tends to worsen as churches increase in size. Why? Because as teams expand, leaders tend to forget that they need to adjust and adapt. The church communication process originally created for a handful of people doesn't work as well for a large group working in separate departments. Yet, leaders often continue to operate in the same way they always have. Being focused on communication and the improvement of it should be a top priority for the church leadership, not only because church staff communication itself is important but also because it can have a wide-ranging impact on your ministry as a whole. Why church staff communication is important. Effective church staff communication is a key element of any healthy church. When you share information with church staff members, demonstrate your trust in them, and ensure that everyone is on the same page, you set a solid foundation for growth. Consider this. There are a number of moving pieces when it comes to planning weekly services, organizing community events, and marketing your church. To ensure all of these activities run smoothly, every member of your team must know what tasks they're responsible for, when tasks must be completed, why certain activities/projects are prioritized, how they're meant to relay information to congregants. When church staff communication is handled properly, your team members will be able to get the information they need to serve the church. Moreover, they'll begin to function as a unit rather than individuals, using their shared mission and insights to move the church forward. Problems that can result from poor church staff communication. However, when church staff communication isn't up to par, it can lead to a number of problems, including disorganization. If you're not communicating with your staff, and vice versa, it can cause disorganization within your church. Projects may not be completed on time, information may not be passed along to your congregation, and even financial obligation may not be met. All of these things can have a larger impact on your church, resulting in serious issues you'll need to take time to address. However, when church staff communication isn't up to par, it can lead to a number of problems, including stagnant growth. Poor or non-existent church staff communication can lead to stagnant growth within your church. When your staff members don't understand the why or how behind the tasks they've been assigned, they're unable to complete such tasks to the best of their abilities. As a result, the number of new congregants you bring and donations you receive can come to a standstill. However, when church staff communication isn't up to par, it can lead to a number of problems, including misunderstandings. False assumptions and misunderstandings often arise from poor church staff communication. When there's a lack of clarity, staff members can end up sharing incorrect information with your congregation, forcing you to scramble to correct the error. However, when church staff communication isn't up to par, it can lead to a number of problems, including employee dissatisfaction. It's not uncommon for church employees to grow unhappy in their positions when there's a serious problem with communication. If you don't take steps to improve communication among your staff, you could wind up with low performance or even loss of employees. However, when church staff communication isn't up to par, it can lead to a number of problems, including decreased momentum. With poor communication comes decreased momentum. As your team expands, it becomes easy for lines to get crossed. As a result, the speed and ease with which you can carry out projects intended to grow your church can decrease. How else can poor communication affect your team, your church, and your congregation? Problems such as the ones listed above can make you and your staff frustrated and even confused as to which steps to take first. Your church is on a mission to communicate truth. Internal communication isn't just crucial to the life of your church, it's crucial to the lives of those you serve. 7 ways to improve communication among your staff. Now that you understand just how important church staff communication is to the overall health of your church, it's time to take steps to improve it. 1. Set expectations early and revisit them often. Right off the bat, you need to ensure every member of your staff understands what is expected from them. Aim for clarity in describing each person's role and outlining the way in which everyone should work together. This is key, as it will encourage communication between you and your team. Further, make it a point to revisit expectations often, especially as your church grows and changes. 2. Establish an effective communication process. To improve church staff communication, it's in your best interest to set up a process. Internal communication becomes more complex the bigger your church is, so you need to look for ways to keep everyone informed. To stay organized and encourage open communication, try assigning information sharing to department heads, scheduling weekly team meetings, using project management software, setting up texting or instant messaging, giving employees the opportunity to ask questions. 3. Make sure your team understands your church vision. When your team understands your church vision, they know where they're headed. They know that everything they do plays a part in seeing that vision come to life. And they're inspired to share ideas, thoughts, and information that will further your vision. So, make sure that every new hire understands and supports your vision. Moreover, make it a point to repeat your church vision so it's solidified in the minds of everyone who works at your church. 4. Encourage team members to communicate with congregants. In addition to encouraging communication among team members, you should also be encouraging communication between your staff and your congregation. Let your team members know what information they should be sharing, when they should be sharing it, and how they should be sharing it. When internal expectations and responsibilities are made clear, connecting with congregants becomes a much easier task. 5. Don't be afraid to share difficult information with your staff. Even though it may be uncomfortable to discuss some topics with your staff, it's crucial that you do so. In addition to making your team members feel included, it can also spark new ideas to help your church through challenging times. Sharing difficult information can actually provide you with a new method of problem solving, making your church even stronger. 6. Break down ministry silos. Ministry silos, the walls between departments or team members, can be caused by separation by room, separation by building, separation by personality. To ensure effective church staff communication, you must make every effort to break down those ministry silos. To do this, you need to have strong leadership in place and staff members who are more focused on the overall mission than individual goals. 7. Foster a culture of trust. Trust plays a huge role in communication. When your staff members feel trusted and valued, they're more inclined to offer up ideas, speak freely, and ask questions. Put trust in your staff members and encourage them to trust one another. Start delegating tasks so you have more time to focus on your calling, and show your team that you have the utmost confidence in their abilities to serve your church. The takeaway: effective church staff communication is vital to the health of your church. That's why you need to encourage trust, transparency, and communication among your team. When you do, you not only ensure that your church is operating at the highest level but also set a solid foundation for growth. At Viral Solutions, we are committed to seeing you succeed. It is our goal to double your donors with proven digital marketing strategies that will help your organization for the long haul. This podcast was created by John Rodriguez. For more than 25 years, John's professional career has spanned corporate business, Christian ministries, and church leadership. He has held prominent positions with Alltech Industries, World Harvest Church, Word of Life Church, Joyce Meyer Ministries, and many other organizations dedicated to growing in their sphere of influence, to reach audiences with quality products and positive messages of hope. Through his dedication to service and determination to help others, John founded Castagnetta Consulting. He shares decades of experience and a wealth of knowledge regarding infrastructure and operational systems. Castagnetta Consulting serves businesses, large or small, and non-profit organizations across the country, including Feed the Children Incorporated, in Oklahoma City and Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas. John is a true entrepreneur at heart. He owns Castagnetta Custom Clothiers, a luxury custom clothing line, Ethos, an Aveda lifestyle salon and med spa, Culinary Arts Tours, a European tour company, and Financial Solutions Group. John resides in St. Louis, Missouri, and enjoys traveling the world in his spare time. Join us next time on the Viral Solutions podcast as we bring you solid marketing strategies that we can implement with you and double your donors and revenue.